Well, ladies and gentlemen, it feels like it's been forever since we've seen. It's been almost an entire month since we've seen anything from Jujutsu Kaisen. And, well, it's time to see what happens in not chapter 263, but 262.2. So, yo, peoples, Kyushu92 here, and welcome back to yet another Jujutsu Kaisen chapter reaction. Last we left out on, we had both Yuta in Gojo's body doing a domain expansion against Sukuna's domain expansion. And the description that we get from it, because I'm going to go skim through it because this was a very short chapter that we got back in June 9th. The small barrier that Satoru Gojo deployed as a countermeasure to Sukuna's domain can withstand the curse technique effects of Malevolent Shrine from outside the domain towards the barrier's outer shell for approximately 3 minutes. My barrier techniques improve thanks to replacement training with Gojo-sensei. Since Sukuna's exhausted, I should be able to hold the domain for 3 minutes like Gojo-sensei. To counteract that, Ryomen Sukuna removes 99 seconds from the time limit by shrinking the effective range of Malevolent Shrine until it surrounds the outer shell of Okotsu's domain. 3 minutes. In 3 minutes or less, I need to inflict enough damage to Sukuna so that he's unable to maintain Malevolent Shrine. In less than 3 minutes, I need to destroy Unlimited Void, widen the domain, and kill them all. And it shows both Yuta and Sukuna throwing hands at each other. Limitless was, and it shows that Sukuna was able to use domain amplification that allowed him to go straight through Limitless, allowing him to strike Yuta. Limitless was penetrated? Was that domain amplification? He can use that while opening a domain? Of course, it is impossible for them to communicate what's happening inside the domain since their crows can't enter. And then we have Rika, who's holding the body of Yuta, while she cries, she's sobbing and crying for Yuta. That was the last chapter we got from Jujutsu. Now to see what we get with chapter 262.2. Chapter 262.2, Inhuman Makio Shinjuku Showdown Part 34.2. And it shows pretty much a vast majority of what I'm guessing the last chapter would have wanted to include, but since Gege's going through like health issues right now, that chapter had to be short. But now we get to see a far more extended fight scene of what's going on. And while Sukuna tries to hit Yuta, Yuta dodges and grabs him by the arm and proceeds to just full-on judo throw him over, causing Sukuna to, almost hit the ground, but he uses his hand to keep his face from hitting it. But Yuta then kicks him away. Rika didn't come along with this body. I can't use curse techniques other than Limitless. Either way, using it at the same time as Kenjaku's curse technique would be impossible. But ever since Sukuna lost his left hands, he hasn't unleashed his slash that cuts the world. Now he shouldn't have any way of defeating the Limitless curse techniques besides amplification. So I have the advantage, and he proceeds to punch Sukuna in the face. And then Sukuna's looking kind of confused as Yuta goes, I misjudged the distance. And then Sukuna tries to punch him, and he dodges out of the way. And it's just an exchange of blows of Sukuna and Yuta dodging and blocking and parrying each other's attacks. This is something I realized during replacement training, but Gojo-sensei has abnormally long arms and legs. And Limitless curse technique always looked omnipotent and flawless. But it's way harder to use than I thought. There's no way I could master it after a single replacement. And then he swipes his fingers across. And Sukuna gets hit, but not exactly. And he gets hit by Yuta trying to use Limitless. But Sukuna isn't affected by it in the same manner that he would be if Satoru himself was using Limitless. He misfired. No wonder he needs 6 eyes. Don't worry, I'm the strongest Jujutsu sorcerer. And this is a flashback of Gojo. How long did Gojo-sensei train before he could say that? He seems to be having difficulties with a hard-to-control curse technique, but... Do you have time for that? As he uses domain amplification again to punch Yuta, with Yuta barely able to, put up a defense.
Kenjaku told me that Yuta Okotsu's curse technique is copy. If I remember correctly, the conditions for that require the female Shikigami to ingest a body part of the curse technique's target. Is the female Shikigami not here because he transferred bodies? If so, can he use other copy curse techniques? Even if he can, I've grasped the other copy curse techniques, and Limitless is merely a side effect of Kenjaku's curse technique. I already confirmed that he can't simultaneously use multiple copy curse techniques. Right now, Okotsu can't do anything other than Limitless.
And that's when it dawns on Sukuna.
What is the duration of copy? Can he maintain that body after Kenjaku's curse technique finishes? Could it be that Okotsu isn't thinking past this fight? Then I know what I should do.
And then we go back in time when Gojo was alive. Yuta, your cursed energy's imprecise. Hasn't Kusakabe ever told you that? You're extra hard on Yuta. And mind you, this is back with Maki and Panda. You're extra hard on Yuta, and it hurts that you're not as hard on us. Salmon. Because they're all just flocking around Yuta. And then we go back to the present.
Search every last one of Gojo Sensei's memories.
And then Yuta goes,
9 ropes, polarized light.
And before he could really do anything, his finger positions is knocked out of the way by Sukuna, who interrupts him. And then he sends Yuta flying.
Does he not understand why Satoru Gojo ended up having to use purple in that way? I can't allow him an opening to charge up for purple.
And mind you, he knocked Yuta into like this big mound of skulls behind him because their domain expansions are still clashing.
Sukuna may still be on guard against copying curse techniques other than Limitless, but I bet he doesn't think that I can use 2 copy curse techniques at the same time. So while the curse technique is easy to counteract inside Unlimited Void, it just might work.
Blue! And then the whole space inside just starts to get pulled towards Sukuna, much to his surprise. And he spins around, and there's like a voice recorder. There's like a voice recorder in the domain with them. And it's right behind Sukuna. And this voice recorder, ooh, wait, and it says, don't move. Is this Inumaki? Is this Inumaki's, cursed speech? Don't move. And then there's just a spray of blood there's a spray of blood because it then shows Inumaki who's just choking up blood.
9 ropes, polarized light, crow and declaration, between front and back. This isn't copy. This is from the actual user.
And Sukuna is left immobilized because Inumaki using cursed speech immobilized him. And then it shows Yuta aiming at Sukuna. And as the tape recorder hits the ground, Yuta goes hollow purple. He's about to use hollow purple point blank on Sukuna, and Sukuna can't move at all. That's the end of the chapter, to be continued. Okay. That's interesting. Oh, that was a genius way to get him to stop moving. Since we don't have that Lumiere dude, the dude who's I forget his name, but he has like the love hand. Since we don't have him anymore to immobilize Sukuna and keep him from moving, they have the next best thing, using Inumaki's cursed speech into a voice recorder. But that also caused immense damage to Inumaki because he's just literally coughing up and choking up blood. But it worked because it immobilized Sukuna. This whole time, when they were fighting, Sukuna came to the realization that Yuta isn't able to use like the curse techniques he had with Rika because Rika is still present with his current body. But now we have a state where Sukuna thinks like, I just need to kill him and stop him before he can even try to charge up anything damaging. And the worst possible scenario for Sukuna is him being immobilized, allowing Yuta to use the incantation enchant to empower Hollow Purple, the same way one would empower a Kido or a Hado. It gave him enough time for him to charge up and enhance this Hollow Purple he's about to unleash on him. And not only that, but Yuta's also having a hard time trying to use Gojo's techniques flawlessly because even he doesn't realize how long it took for Gojo to fully master not only the Limitless, but also all the curse techniques that come with the Six Eyes and Limitless itself. So it's still a bit of a learning curve having to try and use Limitless, but still have someone like Sukuna just break through it with domain, I was about to say divine application, but domain amplification each time. So, it's thanks to Inumaki that we have a spot where he tried to use 9 ropes, polarized light, and Sukuna immediately stopped him. I can't allow him an opening to charge up for purple, because purple will hurt him. Purple will hurt Sukuna. Unfortunately, Inumaki gave Yuta that spot where he can use... Let me see here. Yes, because he used blue to draw in the tape recorder. He used blue inside of the domain to draw in the tape recorder close to Sukuna so he could audibly hear Inumaki say, "Don't move." And we see the after effects of what happened with Inumaki because he's in a room and he coughs up so much blood. But it causes Sukuna to be immobilized as we get 9 ropes, polarized light, crow and declaration, between front and back, Hollow Purple. And Sukuna is literally in point-blank range. He cannot dodge away. He is stuck, unable to move, as Hollow Purple gets unleashed upon him point-blank. So the thing is, let me go over here to the chapter list. The thing is, we're not going on break again. We're getting another chapter. We're getting another chapter next week. So we get to see if Hollow Purple truly hits Sukuna. We get to see Hollow Purple just hit him full force. He's in point blank range. It's not like it's not like Maharaga, who got completely eradicated by Hollow Purple when Gojo was fighting Sukuna. This is a Hollow Purple within a domain expansion. So the sure hit is like, sure, that's present, but also the fact that Sukuna is left immobilized inside this space, and he's gonna have to take that whole hit. Unless Sukuna has some sort of way to get through this Hollow Purple or completely survive, this is gonna hurt him massively. But yeah, this was a good chapter, especially after being on break for like almost an entire month of no Jujutsu. It's nice that we got a lot more context of what was basically going on in chapter 262, and it continued from there. So I like this point 2 chapter. This was nice. I enjoyed it. But now, since we're not going on break, you would think after Yuta saying Hollow Purple and preparing to shoot a Hollow Purple directly at Sukuna, it would be like, and now we're going on break, so you gotta wait a little while before we get the next chapter out. But no, we're getting to see a Hollow Purple next week, right directly in front of Sukuna, and he can't move. Should be interesting to see how that chapter goes. But I think I've said enough. I know this seems like it was a bit short, but I got everything that I wanted to say out in a meaningful amount of time, and I'm anxious to see just how the rest of this fight turns out. Because honestly, I'm still shocked that we still don't know the true name of Sukuna's technique. We know the name, we know how it functions, but we don't know basically the fundamentals of it that allows Sukuna to do everything that he's capable of doing. So I'm still surprised that we didn't get that sort of reveal yet. So I'm just Let's just see what happens. While it may sound like Sukuna's about to get hurt very bad by Hollow Purple, this dude has been pulling out, like, get out of jail free cards this entire encounter ever since he took over Megumi's body. So I'm just going to leave it up in the air and see where we end up next week, whether he truly gets hit by Hollow Purple or does he have another trick up his sleeve, because you can never tell with Sukuna. He's always got something planned, but it should be interesting. I know I use that word a lot, but it should be interesting to see where we go from here after the chapter we get next week. But I'm done, ladies and gentlemen. You have been such a wonderful audience. And thank you for helping this channel reach 5K. Even though it's not there yet, it's literally like 12 away, but it's gonna reach it. It's gonna reach it. I just want to say thank you ahead of time. It is an honor and privilege to be your entertainer as I react to these chapters, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again in the next one. Hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later, peoples!